So today, we're not really like doing a great big thing. We're going to try and start doing the turbo mount. I'm not sure how far we're going to get today, but we got a lot of those stuff we're doing. I'll show you the things we're going to do or work on today, and we'll see how far we get. So, first thing I do is I do have to replace the rear main seal, because that's one thing I never do on the engine stand, and I've got it in a box right there. I've also got to torque down the intake manifold, because we've got the new intake manifold back, and man does it look good. Thanks Justin, once again. And I'm going to tip on some of the injection lines, because especially the back two, we're going to put the injectors in and get everything to where when I mount the turbo I know what's going to be in the way. So got to get all that done. And Kagan is over here cleaning our pride and joy. To anybody that forgot, that is our rebuilt K27 Borg Warner off of a Freightliner.
We still don't know if it's properly rebuilt or not.
Yeah, well, we done it, so you know how that goes.
You done it.
Yeah, well, okay. You was a part of it.
I held the camera.
So, and I have a buddy who has done some pulling trucks and so on and so forth, and he actually done some of the numbers on that turbo with this engine, and he said he thinks it's going to be pretty close to being the right turbo for the setup. We'll see. It's probably not as good as some of the off-the-shelf ones designed for this, but it'll be close enough for what I'm doing. So, we're going to get started. I'm going to torque down the intake manifold first, and then I'm going to move on to the rear main seal. And I bought something, and I got something else of Justin's, and I'll show you them here in a bit, and it's going to play a big part in our hot side setup. So, yeah. Give me a few minutes, split second for you guys, and I'll be back. Okay, so I got all the bolts here out of the rear main seal. Call it sheet metal, the plate, whatever you want to talk about there. I'm gonna call it a plate. And now we're
here scrubbing this thing.
Yeah, Kagan's over here scrubbing. What now?
I said over here scrubbing this thing down. I thought of a new novel.
What's that?
50 Shades of Rust.
50 Shades of Rust. So now I just gotta pull that off there. I've never had this plate off the engine, so it likes its home. And I did silicone the oil pan back on, which I've got some new silicone to apply to that once I get this off. But no doubt this thing is not going to want to come off there real easy. Oh, there it goes. Just took a little bit of force. So, not much there, but what I do need to do is all of this gasket's gonna have to come off. I got a new one of those. And then I've got to make sure all of this silicone's off before I put all that back on. So we'll set up over here, and I'll see what I can do to punch this rear main seal out and put the new one in. And I will come back over here and clean this up and show you guys what the finished product of it cleaned up looks like. And by the way, look at the back of the pretty camshaft. Kagan is still over cleaning that turbo. Must gonna look good when he's done. So I don't have anything that's exactly the right diameter. I've got this big old heavy piece of metal, and I think it'll work just fine. And I should be able to. The good news is the hammer doesn't have to be real big, because there's enough weight there with this piece that it is driving it right out. I just got to make sure that I catch it when it goes, because like I said, it's a heavy piece. Okay, there's our old seal. So now, when I press the new one in, I need to be a little bit more gentle. right? So it goes like that right there. And see if that sits on it like it does. And so I'm going to just tap if I need to do it smoothly. So that's not going to work right. So I have another idea. So we'll have to move. Okay, so this is an arbor press. It's kind of got a bunch of stuff around it, so I got to kind of work in here a little bit. I guess I could have moved some things, but I'm not going to be here that long, I hope. So I've got this very large washer, pretty thick, and I'm going to set it there. That will help distribute the pressure evenly all the way around. I go to press down on it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set that on too. That way it presses evenly all the way around. And so something I want to do is I want to pull that out and let that down a ways if I can. Piece of box tubing will help take up the slack. So now I want to try and make sure that I'm pressing down on the middle of this thing as much as possible. Okay, and we are pressed completely flat. So now I'll back this off. Ta-da! Now, it does need to be tapped down a little bit more than that, but I can do that back over there. Or better yet, be back. I'm going to use the old ring just a little bit. I'll set my pieces back on there. Some of that I'm using as a counterweight because there's no lip here and it wants to fall off. Okay, and I'm going to give it just a just a little bit. There we go. And so I'm going to take a feeler gauge and a straight edge and check that here in just a minute. It should be about 10 thousandths below, I do believe. Okay, so back over here at the vise, I set that there, and I can put my 10 thousandths feeler gauge underneath each side, and it's a little loose on this side, but not by much. And just do about there. I can feel it drag. Yeah, so it's probably a little bit more than 10 thousandths, but that's, I'm gonna call that close enough and see where it lands on the actual crank itself, because I think we're good. I don't think it's got to be that precise because this isn't exactly machining, as long as the seal rides on the smooth surface on the crank. Alright, so I've got the surface all clean. I've got the back side of this surface clean. I've got our little installation tool on there. And it says to install this dry, because I always want to lube seals up when I put them on, but it says right on the ring, install dry. So the first thing I need to do is, I got some silicone, and once again, the reason I'm siliconing everything is because on the forums, they say the old cork oil pan gasket tends to leak no matter what you do. They said the best way to do it is just put your oil pan on silicone, if you guys seen that in a previous video. But, so I just cut this open, there we go. biggest thing about this is that when it squeezes out, I don't want it to squeeze out into the engine. If it squeezes out, I'd rather it squeeze out this way. So it breaks off, gets sucked up in the oil pump and everything. Hopefully it would disintegrate to the point that the filter would catch it. But I just don't like taking that kind of chance. I'd rather put it heavy on this side, let it squeeze out over here, and then either let it hang or clean it up out on the outside or whatever. Not really that worried about.
What he's saying is whenever you're building an engine and you're leaving things a chance, you want the chance to be in your favor.
Yeah, pretty much. That is the size of that. Mm, 90-degree areas I worry about a lot. I want to make sure that they are.
Remember, folks,
no place.
in building a motor, if the chances are good, the odds are against you.
Yeah. So here's the next trick. I'm gonna take a little bit of silicone. Just gonna dab it there, 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 and there, and there. There. I'm gonna take my pretty new gasket I got here, which I'm gonna set it on these alignment pins. There's one on this side. There's one on that side, and I'm gonna line it up with the holes, and I'm gonna push it down on the silicone areas that I just put there. And there we go. Now that gasket should stay in place while I work this thing on. And this is going to be interesting. It's catching there. I don't want it to catch there. Okay, hold on. Move that over. I'm gonna use the back side of my knife so as not to damage that seal. Because we do not want to damage that seal. I'm just going to roll that into it. Right like that. There. It didn't take. Daggone it. Hold on. I see I'm already starting to mess up my bottom silicone. I may have to take the oil pan completely back off and redo all this. So it might have to happen. I don't want to do that, but I don't want it to leak either. Yeah. I'm about ready to just say screw it, just because of this. I do not like that at all. That sucks. Unless, let me do it this way. Okay, and it's almost like this thing doesn't want to go on there. Surely that's not the case, right?
Well, you did disturb it. It was sitting over there nice and peacefully in the shed. And
trying to return back to the earth?
Yeah. You plucked it up and brought it in here, cleaned it off, and painted it.
Told it will run again? Okay.
I don't think it will run again is what ticked it off. I think it's the color scheme.
Color scheme?
Yeah.
Kagan doesn't like it that I'm painting it the old International Gray.
No.
There we go. I guess that started first.
Don't get me wrong.
And then
I like the block being International Gray. I just think that you could have chose something.
I'm not happy with the way that silicone went. We're going to end up taking that oil pan back off and redoing that. Because it'll leak there. Oh well. Okay. Now I'm going to pull this. And that's what I was afraid of. It's not deep enough. I think that thing goes on the other way. So there you go. If you get a felpro seal, the smooth side must go towards the inside, because it doesn't go on this side, because I'm almost pushed through on the outside. So this actually needs to be flipped around the other direction. That can't be right.
Wait.
Because the other direction is the longer side, which is what's got your compression against it.
Yeah, you put that in backwards.
That's the way the original one was put in, but it was a different type of seal. I did put it. I think, yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
It was the old spring ring style.
Yeah. And I had the ledges of it on the outside. I had a valley into it. Yeah, I did.
I can go show you how it came out. I can show you where I tapped on it to drive it out the back side.
All right, okay.
It was like that. So the felpro gets put in the other way, evidently.
By the way, if I'm right, comment.
Oh, I know you're right. That one needs to go in that way, but I can tell you the other one was this way.
I think the old
But it was a different style of seal.
I think the old one was, if I'm right,
Hold on. Let me get it. I know where it's at. Well, this is the old one. The rust is on the outside, which is the smooth side. And this was what would be the inside. Yeah, and the seal set back in like that. Yeah. So, yep, that's wrong. There you go, everyone. This is how you screw something up, just to show you that we make mistakes all the time. Quickest way to fix that is pull it back off there.
Yeah.
I wonder if that seal's still okay. All right, well, what's about to happen is I've got an appointment to go get a haircut, and before I get back, Kagan's gonna have to go to work. So I'll go take care of that, and
Oh, yeah, by the way,
I'll be back. Kagan won't be, but he wants to show you his new toy.
my new toy.
He spent a lot of time cleaning up on it, and it actually looks pretty good considering what it did. That's our new boost device.
By the way, guys, and just in case you're wondering, all I did was really just pour some seafoam over the spots that were really rusted. Made sure it was on there, and scrubbed it around a little bit with a soft brush and let it set. It broke up pretty much everything, and then went back over it with a bronze brush. You can do that with, you know, steel, cast, I mean, good bit of aluminum. I mean, seafoam will pretty much just eat any
You know
of
what
the
works
oxidation
really good
off.
on aluminum? Snowball.
Yep, toilet bowl cleaner.
That's what I use to clean the engine on the chopper. So anyways, I'll get this cleaned up a little bit. I'll get cleaned up a little bit. I'm gonna go get a haircut. I'll be back, and we'll flip that thing around and see what we can do. All right, guys, so it's been a few days, and I'll show you what's going on here. So this is the original rear main seal that I pulled out of it. And it didn't look terrible, but you know, putting this thing together, it's been out sitting in the shed for 30 years, and I want to make sure everything's going to seal up good. So I bought this seal. Now these seals, and I'll come in here to the camera so I'm here so you guys can see. This seal here has got one lip right there, and it comes in from the front. This should be on the outside of the engine there. I say front, I guess that would be the front of the engine, but it comes in from the back side of the engine here, and it's well in there. This seal here is a double lip seal. Now this is a felpro. I don't know if they're any good or not. I know I didn't like how far I had to press it in there. I didn't feel comfortable with it. I reached out to Justin, and Justin says that he uses National oil seal. So I bought a National seal, and it looks a lot like the original seal I pulled off of it. So I feel a lot better about this one. So I'm going to go ahead and press this one in the housing, same way I showed you on the other one, and then we're going to put it on. So let me get this pressed in that plate. And the next problem is I went ahead and pulled the oil pan off, so I put this on there, and then I'm going to redo the entire seal on the oil pan and get it back up on there. So yeah, get this pressed in there. Okay, so I've got this nifty little tool that actually came with the other rear main seal. This one didn't come with it, but I'm going to use it. And then I'll take and put me a little dab of silicone here and here, which is at the bottom of that gasket. And as you can see, I've put some assembly lube around the seal. That way it slides on. Actually, I might have to put that in the seal first. That would probably be best. Maybe. If I can pull it off. Okay, there. Now I've got the tool in the seal. The alignment pins, it's on. I'll pull that out. And we are sealed. We're in good shape now. So, now this one I particularly like better than the other one. When we first put the other one in, the lip, the secondary lip actually set outside of the end of the crank there, which I did not like. This one is actually on the machine surface of the crank where the seal should land. Same place that one did. So, if you are going to get a new rear main seal, I strongly suggest buying a National. Like I said, I talked to Justin. For those of you guys who don't know who Justin is, he owns R&D Performance. And that's what he works on, is these motors all the time. He uses a National. I'm not saying he recommends a National, but he says he uses a National. So I'm going to say that I recommend the National if you're not comfortable with that other seal, because I wasn't. So now all I've got to do is clean my oil pan up and my surface around there, and I'm going to reapply my oil pan. That way I can keep this seal down here nice. I get the oil pan back on and we'll be good to go for this rear main seal. So thanks for watching. I learned something. I hope you guys did. And hopefully next time it won't be as a dramatic experience when I set out to do something. Guys, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button down there, and we'll keep working on this old truck along with several other projects we got. We'll see you later.